You've been paying tax every single month. So why do you have to pay more to SARS when you complete your tax return? Why do some people get a refund and you don't? I get a high tax refund every single year. Would you like to know my secret? I'm Devon Naika, Retirement and Investment Specialist at Retirement Wellness SA. I specialize in creating personalized solutions for retirees and helping them live the best life possible with the money they have. How does it make you feel when you hear the word SARS? How do you feel when you receive an SMS or an email from them? When it comes to SARS, most people are afraid. In fact, when we get an email or an SMS from them, we almost immediately fear the worst. I know this because so many people have that fear. It's normal and completely natural to have it. We all fear the unknown. We feel SARS is complicated. They have countless rules. You need to be a brain surgeon in order to understand them. Well, maybe not. I have a number of medical professionals who are equally afraid of SARS. Well, prior to them learning these secrets. So how do we overcome the fear of the unknown? How do we conquer that fear? Let's think about playing a sport. For example, rugby. You see players getting seriously injured. You see nosebleeds and head bleeds. You might be afraid that you're going to be battered and bruised if you had to play. However, once you take the time to learn the rules, you then have a change of perspective. You realize that rugby is actually a safe game if all the rules are followed with. More importantly, it's a fun and exciting game. Now let's come back to SARS. You're only afraid now because you don't know the rules. Once you know the rules and you play by them, you're going to have a different experience and you're going to have fun and win every time. Let's spend some time understanding these rules. Come on, guys. This is Retirement Wellness SA. You know that we're not going to make things complicated for you. There are only two things that I want you to focus on in order for you to get your refund. You heard right. Just two things: income and deductions. But before we look at them in detail, I want to quickly talk to you about tax evasion and tax avoidance. Tax evasion is illegal and will land you in a lot of trouble. You'll be evading tax if you do not disclose your information. For example, not disclosing that you're collecting a rental income. Tax avoidance is legal. It is simply arranging your finances in a way that gives you maximum tax efficiency. And we're going to be talking about tax avoidance. Now, let's focus on income. When you look at your income, I'm guessing that you only think about your salary that you get paid, or if you're running a business, the drawing that you take. In reality, SARS considers a number of items to be part of your income. For example, does your company contribute towards your pension fund or your provident fund? Does your company contribute towards your medical aid? If so, SARS considers the amount that your company pays to be part of your income. Now, do you have money in the bank, or do you have a unit trust investment? Well, SARS considers the interest that you make here to be part of your income as well. What about rentals? Do you have a property on rent? This too is part of your income. So income tax is determined on a sliding scale. What this simply means is the more money you earn, the more tax you will pay. Now, I'm going to make this extremely easy here by using made-up figures. But once you understand the concept, trust me, you'll be able to apply this to the actual figures. Now let's get going, and we're going to assume that this is the tax table that we are working with. Let's also assume that you are earning 20,000 Rand a month. And over a 12-month period, this is 20,000 times 12, 240,000. Now your income is above 100,000, above 150, and above 200,000. It's below 250,000, so you're going to be sitting at a tax rate of 31%. Now let's assume that you have a lump sum of money in the bank or a unit trust investment, And let's assume that the interest you earn there is 30,000 Rand. Now, SARS is aware of the 20,000 Rand salary because every month your company pays tax over to SARS for this 20,000. However, SARS is not aware of the 30,000 Rand interest. And the bank or the company that's handling your unit trust investment says that you have to sort the tax on your own. They issue you with a tax certificate showing the amount of interest that you have earned in that specific tax year. So when you go to do your tax return, SARS takes into account the 20,000 Rand salary over 12 months, 240,000. They add 30,000 of interest, which means your total income is 270,000. Now, if we go back to our made-up tax table, you'll see that you've now jumped a tax bracket. According to SARS, you earned a total income of 270,000 for that year, and they should have taxed you at a higher rate, but they only knew about your salary, and therefore they taxed you at that rate. This means that you now have to pay money in. So, the first thing I want you to do is identify all the income areas that SARS considers for you specifically. Next, I want you to look at whether you can arrange this any differently. So, using our example, assume that you had to take 30,000 away from your bank investment and you put that into a tax-free savings plan. This reduces the interest that you earn, and interest is calculated on a smaller balance. The interest earned on your tax-free savings is, well, tax-free. So you win on both sides. Now, there are many legal ways to get around this. So, to recap, your starting point is to identify those areas that SARS considers to be income, and you're going to look at ways in which that can be handled differently. Oh, and by the way here, assuming you are married and committed to a property, interest earned is split equally between you and your spouse. Now, I know what you're thinking, and that's quite an interesting point. If you had to get married in committed to a property, you will pay less tax. This is a plus for you. However, if you save R1 million in your spouse's bank account, remember that 50% of that is interest in your hands. Now let's look at the deductions. There are excellent opportunities for you here to save on tax. So please pay careful attention. Whilst the income will be pushing you up the tax scale, deductions will be bringing your income lower. Now, if you can get enough deductions, you'll be able to reduce your taxable income. And this is going to help you get a tax return. So, what are some of the things that you'll be able to reduce your income by? SARS allows you to earn some interest that they will exempt you from paying tax. And this is excellent. If you are under 65, it's 23,800. If you are over 65, it's 34,500. Now, you need only factor tax on interest that is above this amount. SARS also allows you tax saving on contributions towards medical aid and certain cash medical expenses. But please remember to keep your receipts. Another huge one here is contributions to a retirement fund. This could be a pension fund, it could be a provident fund, or even a retirement annuity. They are all treated in the same way for tax purposes. They will all give you excellent tax benefits. Now, coming back to our basic example, let's assume that your contributions towards your retirement fund was the maximum. This is 27.5% of your income. 27.5% of 240,000 is 66,000. This entire amount could be seen as a deduction. Now remember, you could have already paid towards a pension fund or provident fund because you're contributing monthly. So let's assume that you contributed a total of 30,000 for the year. Then you can put a further 36,000 to get your maximum of 66,000 deduction. So let's look at the big picture. You earned an income of 240,000 for the year, plus the interest of 30,000. We're taking away the interest exemption, 23,800. We're also taking away your retirement fund contributions, in total 66,000. This means your taxable income is 180,200. Looking back at our example, this is below the rate SARS had applied for you. They applied a rate based on your income of 240,000. This means they taxed you more than they should. They will now refund you the difference. Can you hear that? And there you have it. Just received an SMS from my bank confirming that my SARS refund has cleared. If it's all still a bit confusing for you, there's no harm in asking for a professional to help. In fact, I use a professional accountant to handle my tax return. Just make sure that you're using someone who knows and understands the tax laws so that they can help you identify opportunities and get excellent refunds. Now let me know if you found this video helpful. And do you want more important tips and tricks to help you build your wealth? Great. We have them all here on this channel. Be sure to click subscribe. This information is aimed at helping people make the best decisions possible with their finance. Do you know someone who can benefit from this? Now's your chance to perform an act of kindness. Share this link with the video to them.